Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first episode of Capturing the game with inside the game. I'm your host, Brady Spenfowler, and I'm joined by my co-host, Desmond Jones. On today's podcast episode, we'll be talking with the CEO and founder of Capture Sports Agency, Chauntiel Smith-Jones. Without further ado, we can just get right into it and start the podcast. So Chauntiel, just tell us like a little bit about yourself, your upbringing, and why you decided to create your own agency.
Definitely. So for the most part, I am born and raised here in Fort Wayne, Indiana. I played basketball when I was in middle school. When I was in high school, I ran track when I was in high school. Also ran track when I was in college, which is what I got a scholarship for. Been playing sports since the age of 3. When my mom put, that basketball in my hand at the age of 3, and then from there, my passion and my love from sports came from there. And the reason why I got into being a sports agent or even wanted to get into the sports agency realm is because when I was in high school, I was playing against a lot of my peers and athletes who went to the next level and either got misrepresented or didn't understand the process of going through how to get an agent or sign with the right agency.
So why didn't you decide you wanted to join like an agency instead? Like why did you decide you wanted to go off and venture into your own? Because I know you probably could have easily just decided to intern with one or just be a part of one. So what was that thought process or motive of saying I just want to go out and just create my own?
It really wasn't, me going out and just creating my own for the most part. I started with an internship, a small sports agency down in Dallas called Max Sports Group, which is now Proverbs Sports Management, I believe. But for the most part, I started with an internship, and then from there, I was there for about a year, year and a half. And then that's when God came to me in prayer and he told me that he needed me to bring a sports agency back to Fort Wayne, Indiana, to get back to my community and be able to help build my community. So, me being obedient, that's what I did. I run the company back here to Fort Wayne, Indiana, and just trying to be obedient and fulfill His will for my life and the agency.
Uh, What was that feeling like for being able to sign and get your first client?
It felt fine. For the most part, I thought that I was just doing something right. But then, come to find out, every just because you sign a client doesn't mean that it's the best client for you or the best client that's in your interest. So my first client, I thought that I was doing something. I thought that I was on top of the world. But then I realized, you know, it wasn't what I thought it was going to be. It hit hard and it was a tough pill to swallow. But God kept me up and continued to lead me and guide me in the right direction, teaching me about actually being a sports agent and going after the right people.
So with that, was it nervous or any like nervous or any type of sorts like just approaching that person to be able to sign them on to your agency?
Kind of like so for my first client, they were like, what do you call? They were referred to me. So it wasn't somebody that I went out and looked for or recruited on my own for the most part. That athlete was referred to me, and then I was actually able to get that athlete. So I really wasn't too nervous because I actually played against her, um, in high school a few times. So I really wasn't too nervous. But like I said, at the same time, when you're your first time being an agent, and you first come out and you get your first client, you think this is the right person that's going to set things off, and uh, definitely wish I would have took my time for the most part.
Got you. So going back into talking about CSA a little bit, what makes CSA so different from any of the other agencies that's out there?
We're mostly based pretty much on a family atmosphere. That and we're young. We know what's going on in the industry and with the athletes as well. For the most part, we can relate more to the athletes, especially on the women's side. Another thing I would say is we're faith based. A lot of companies won't come out and say that. That's not saying that we only go after faith based athletes, but with our faith, we help our athletes get through certain things that certain agents probably wouldn't care too much for or even give time to them for. Another thing is we give workshops to our athletes, teaching them about different aspects of business and sports and stuff like that. So we do that, and then we have a few marketing things that we do for our athletes. And one of the things is that Capture Sports is we capture our athletes to be more than athletes. So we want them to be role models, entrepreneurs, um, business owners, own a stake in a company. Just be that influence person and know that athletes are more than just athletes and they have a voice.
All right, with being a faith-based agency, have you found any struggles or difficulties with maybe capturing athletes or getting them to join on just because maybe they're afraid of that faith-based like personas behind the agency?
Not necessarily, only because we when we're telling what the agency is, we're giving a full detailed thought about who we are and what we do. And like we said, if those athletes don't fit what we're doing or don't fit our culture, that's fine. We're not the right agency for them, or they're not the right athletes for us. We're not gonna um be mad about it or anything like that. We wish the best for those athletes, but for the most part, when athletes understand what we do and how we do it and what our culture is, a lot of times they're for it, and it's a lot of agencies that don't do that for them.
So, what do you look for in an athlete right now?
So we're looking for athletes who are, like I kind of just stated, like role models, athletes who want to be entrepreneurs, athletes who want to give back to the communities, athletes, who definitely have that skill set to play at the next level, but athletes who definitely want to be a voice for their communities and also be that voice and that leader in the industry as well.
Got you. Has there been any role models for you growing up that has helped you along the way and helping establishing, CSA or continue to help you grow currently?
I would say growing up, my mom, for the most part, because she pushed me to be where I am today. She was the main reason why I came up with Capture Sports Agency. We were sitting down together, figuring out, um, what we were gonna call Capture Sports Agency, and she wanted to be my initials, and I did not. I didn't want myself to be, the front face of anything. I wanted it to just be the agency itself. But after that, I've had a few mentors who have tremendously helped me along the way and helped me be the agent that I am today, which is Javon Barnes, um, Eric Weasel, and then I think I have Jill Baxter or Jill McBride Baxter. Trying to think, I think it's like a few more. Um, I know Lee Steinberg, Selwyn Roberts. They've been a pretty huge help for the most part. So those have been the few. Andre Cummings definitely have been one of the ones who have been my role models and my mentors in this industry for the most part.
At what point have you realized, or did you realize that you made it within the sports realm of the agencies? Like, was there any moment in time where you're like, okay, I have this many agents, like I've made it, or are you still on that the grind, that up and coming, not a sense of you've made it yet?
Pretty much. For me, it's the grind never stops. You're never going to reach your full potential at any given point. There's always things you need to learn. There's always something that's going to be thrown at you where you're going to have to, figure out how you're going to maneuver through it or go around it or something like that. So I'm never in a sense where I've made it. I know I was talking to one of my mentors, um, Eric Weasel, and I was on the phone with him and I told him, um, I'm trying to be one of the greatest, sports agents around or something like that, or I'm trying to be on his level. And he said, don't try to be on my level. He said, you're already on my level. He's like, you're already one of the hardest working agents that I know. And a lot of people are going to find that out here soon. So um, I just know I just have to keep grinding and keep hustling and know that, God has my best interest and what he has for me will come.
That's powerful. What causes you to what's your drive right now? What's motivating you so much right now to keep you going, to keep to be hustling and just to keep your grind going right now?
It's my family. Definitely want to be able to help my family. I know I want to be able to. I want my grandma to see the success that I'm doing. I know, but I was praying years ago, and I just told God, I want my grandma to be able to see this. Because my grandma's up there in age, so I definitely want to be able to. I want to be able um, that my grandma is able to see it. I want to be able to help my family out. Also want to be able to say that I fulfilled God's promise for my life. I fulfilled God's will for my life. Also want to be able to get back to my community. Want to bring back jobs and internships to my community and just be that influence and that difference maker.
Have you found any difficulties with that? I mean, among this pandemic that we've had for going on almost the past year now, have you found any hardships throughout that, or any days where you've the grind, you just kind of self doubted yourself throughout that process of just having to stay home and stuff like that?
Not really. It kind of gave me more time, actually, more time to focus on getting a lot more things done, more time to, study the industry more or reach out into places where I haven't been able to get into just because of so much time, and the schedules and stuff like that. So, I would say that the pandemic really didn't slow too much down, really at all. I think we were being a lot more proactive during this time where a lot of people were reactive. So while we were being proactive, a lot of things developed for us, a lot of things started to grow, and that was really huge for us.
No, I think that's very good that you guys that casual sports has been able to grow during this time and that they wasn't really affected too much by the pandemic. Um, what's something that you would tell your younger self? Um, with we knowing where you at today, if you was to start this all over again, what's something that you would do differently, or just something that you wish you knew starting off that you know now?
I probably would tell myself to take my time, just because you have the title of being a sports agent doesn't mean that you have to rush things, and you have to try and prove yourself to people just by picking up anybody. So I would definitely say just take my time and understand that things will come. Things don't have to be forced.
No, that's really good because I feel like now in today's day and age, that's what people are going for within the sports realm. They want to prove themselves, and they think that once they make it, that they're just set. They can just coast their way through. But I mean, as you're saying, and with the agency, that there's always the grind. The grind never stops. You're always trying to one up and keep going and keep pushing yourself to be better than you were the day before. So I think that's a good motto and a good thing that people are probably listening to us now today that they can go off of and go for their future because grinding the net grind never stops and they gotta keep pushing to be better each day. Where do you see the agency moving forward? Going in a new year, we're a couple months in. Where do you see yourself and the agency throughout this year or going forward?
I see NBA agent in our future somewhere. I would also say that the company will be you know representing some of the top WNBA, FIBA and NBA players in the league, and we'll be able to have some of the greatest influencers, role models in this industry. And I say another thing I'll say is I feel like the company will be in a spot where we'll be able to get it built here in the city, where like I said, we can be able to create jobs and internships for our community and be able to bring more events to the community as well.
No, that's awesome. I'm looking forward to seeing what Couch Sports is going to do, and for Wayne, and I'm also just looking forward to seeing what Capture Sports is going to do. just in the near future. So I'm definitely following. I'm checking it out, and you definitely got your biggest supporter right here. but but that kind of wraps up our interview portion of our segment of our podcast. So now we're going to transition to our last part, which is called it's our game within the game. So since our name of our podcast is capturing the game, the slogan is it's called the game within the game. Is the wrap around. So what we're going to do is we're going to ask you a couple of questions, right? And it's really just like a game that me and Brady play. So we kind of have answers, preloaded answers that we have, or just our own personal favorite takes based off these questions that we're going to ask. So my question for you, Miss Chauntiel Smith-Jones, are you ready?
Yeah, let's go.
All right. Here we go. So our first question is, if you could transfer your track and field skills and your basketball skills to another sport, what would it be?
So my basketball and track, so like I can't
Mm-hmm.
like
Mm-hmm.
okay.
You got to choose another sport besides track and field and basketball.
Mm, it would either be skateboarding or the NFL.
See,
That's,
skateboarding is interesting.
yeah,
Don't you
I'm
think that's so, Brady?
yeah, I'm curious on why skateboarding. Honestly,
Well, when I was in middle school and high school, me and my sister used to have a skateboard, and we used to practice like tricks in front of the house and just do I don't know, just all kinds of tricks in front of the house with the skateboard. It's pretty fun.
I
I
like
can
the
I
answer.
could Yeah, I could dig that because I was thinking like maybe she would pick like soccer or something like that, but she Miss Chantel Smith Jones being herself always picking something out of the box. So I I I, uh, I should expect something else. I should expect that coming from her.
Yeah, so
So
I was thinking football because like I always wanted to play football as a kid. So I was thinking that's what I would do if I had my skills. I was thinking like the football realm. So I was
Yeah, because I mean, I was thinking about it running. I mean, I did play Power Puff in high school, and I was a running back. So I was thinking NFL, I guess. So
three things can stay. One has to go. Basically, one has to go. So we have options. We have the Colts, the Pacers, or the Fever. You have three options, and one of them has to go. So you can't watch that team or anything anymore. So you have the Colts, Pacers, or Fever.
what type of question is this? Um, that's difficult.
it is.
Um, um, probably have to be the Pacers for now.
Mm, dang, you just deleted the whole Pacers. Just gone.
I mean, I can't get the Fever. Can't do that. The Colts. I love my Colts. I love my Pacers too, but you made me choose one, so one had to go. It was two basketballs and one football, so one had to go.
No, I understand. All right. So we gonna ask you a little easier question because I feel like I feel I see the sweats breaking out over there.
No sweat.
Oh, so what's your favorite season of year? So of course you got fall, winter, spring, or summer.
Spring.
Spring. Okay. I'm a summer type of person. I just love the summer vibes.
I'm more fall, more fall. I like the sweatshirt weather and jeans. You can go outside, bonfire, a little campfire, have friends over. That's what I'm going for.
Yeah.
Look at that. We can feature almost all the seasons between all three of us. So here we go. Here's another question. Which do you prefer? TV shows or movies?
Movies. Only because TV shows I have to wait to see what's gonna happen, and I hate that. I can say like right now, All American, I don't have time to sit here and wait to see what's about to happen. I hate it. If they would just make a whole movie, I can just see it all at once. So I would rather do the movies over the TV shows.
I understand. In your career so far, have you met a celebrity that just had you like, oh my goodness, like I'm ready to, I can't wait to meet this person, but I gotta play cool because I'm in a professional setting and I can't act out the way I want to act out.
Uh, I think it was one, maybe two. It was two. So I forget what year that was when I seen Allison Felix, and I was like, in my mind, you remember the movie, um, What Men Want, and is that the part where what's the dude name? Jamal Berry is getting ready to meet Carl Anthony Towns, and he's like yelling in his head, he's like, "Yo, it's Carl Anthony Towns! Oh my god!" That was me when I seen Allison. In my head, I'm screaming like, "Yo, that's Allison Felix! Whoa, bro, chill! Oh my god, bro, you gotta chill out." So that was that one, and then recently was like last year when um I guess it was two people. Last year at the NFL Combine, when we saw Mike Tomlin from the Steelers, and he came in and he had like this little walk, like, yeah, I'm legit. So, and I'm looking at him like, yo, that's Mike Tomlin. But I didn't say anything to him because I knew I was gonna freak out. So I didn't say anything to him at all. Um, but then I think I was walking back to my hotel at the NFL Combine, and I was just walking, and next thing you know, in my peripherals, I saw Nicole Lynn, and I was like, "Yo, there's Nicole Lynn." And I kept walking back and forth, and I was like, "Yo, I don't know what I'm supposed to say. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. She's over there talking to somebody. This is just not cool." So then I just sucked it up, and I just went over there and introduced myself for the most part. Had to play it cool though.
So for the listeners, for listening now, who is if you describe who Nicole Lynn, if they've probably never heard of her, who is Nicole Lynn?
Nicole Lynn is one of the greatest um, NFL sports agents in the game. First African American female to get a first round draft pick. So she is dope. So yeah, you can imagine meeting her is just almost like meeting Michael Jackson for the first time, honestly. So, and I never met Michael Jackson, so I'm a little hurt by that too. So
Do you have a speaking of, while we're on the topic of celebrities, do you have a favorite celebrity right now?
I do not. I really don't have a favorite celebrity unless we're talking like athletes. You
Does
know,
athletes are considered celebrities, so we can go down that path.
okay. Well, if that's the case, um, I want to say LeBron James, of course. Um, Damian Lillard. Um, trying to think. Dawn Staley. I love her. Um, I don't know. I think that's it, but I'm not sure. Um, I know if we go music artists, then Andy Mineo is my favorite. So Andy Mineo and What Up RG. So
So, what was your Super Bowl pick to win? I know the game's going on currently right now. So without looking at the score, without cheating, who you pick, Chiefs or the Bucks?
First off, it wouldn't matter what the score is. I'm going for Mahomes. And they're losing right now, but I'm going for Mahomes.
Okay, Brady, who'd you have?
I'd go with the Bucks just because I'm a Brady and Gronk fan. I got a couple. Got Thompson up there and when he's at Michigan, so kind of rooting for him again his seventh one.
Yeah, I'm rooting for Tampa Bay as well. So I want just to I'm rooting for Tom a little bit, but I'm also rooting for just the coaching staff and also more importantly Bruce Arians because I really love that dude. Say you was the president, right? And you had to make it your an announcement or make a public address or say something to the world. What do you want to say?
What? I would probably say Jesus is King, and let's stay unashamed. I don't know.
Hey, that's. I mean, I think that's solid. It's not like, you know, a lot of the biggest quotes in the world are only but a couple of words. So, I mean, I think you hit it right on the nose with what you were saying. What do you think, Brady?
I think it's great. I like them both. I think I'd support you for president too. Um, it's enough for me, not for my vote. So I'm all for it.
Oh God. I hope not.
I guess
Nah,
the final question I guess we can say is where can our listeners and the viewers find you and the agency at?
So you guys can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Agent CSJ. And you can follow Capture Sports on both Instagram and Twitter at Capture Sports.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us today on our podcast episode. I hope you guys enjoyed listening, and hopefully you learned more about Capture Sports Agency and more about Chauntiel Smith-Jones today.
Thank you guys for having me.